everybody. How you doing? So I'm finally here. Hold on, I'm just waiting for it to start the stream here on YouTube so I can make sure it's muted. All right, so what a day. What a day, my lord. So it turns out we're going to have to reschedule with Brandon, unfortunately. So really unfortunate. We're going to reschedule, and we're going to be going Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 or noon for you all in the Central Time Zone, and that would be 1 o'clock for those of you on the East Coast. But that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking to do. It turns out that his computer was running a pretty, prehistoric version of Flash Player, and so he wasn't getting my audio. It was just bizarre. But Sydney time. Hold on, let me figure it out. I think I got Sydney on my world clock. So here, let's see here. Oh no, I got Melbourne. That's because that's where Mark Hodnott lives. But anyway, so let's see if it was. So it would be about. So I guess 5 a.m. Sydney. I don't know if, well, Sydney might be different than Melbourne. Hold on. Let me type in Sydney. Okay, same time difference. So yeah. So that would be 5 a.m. tomorrow morning for Sydney. Anyways, now that we chased down that little dragon. So yeah, it's unfortunate. I was pretty excited. I mean, he's gonna play his new song, obviously, Man Up Manitowoc. It's I've heard it. It's good. He sent me the full thing. As soon as he was done, like literally the first recording he made where he had gotten it all together and was, and it sounded really good, and I liked it. It's got a good energy to it, actually. I really like the energy to it. So anyway, so he'll be playing that. And then I have requested a song for him to play. And apparently, Mr. Maddox is willing to take a couple of requests from the crowd as well. So that ought to be fun, right? So that's what we're looking at. Since I am not on with Brandon, I can remove that. Because it's annoying to wear those. And yeah, so that's what we're at. So it might be cool for you guys because you'll maybe get in a request or two. He'll take maybe one or two. So it should be interesting. What's up, Jerome? Hello, Linda K. Hello, Rhonda South. Hello, Foxy Roxy. Go Mean Green. Hello, Ziggy. Hello, Crazy Airedale Lady. Let's see. Jojo Mary, hello. Am I going to talk about something today? Well, I generally talk about stuff. I mean, that's what I do. I'm good, Jerome. I'm good. How you doing over there with the French channel? Late night with Erekose. It's late night that's a late night for me, but but without the echo, please. Was there an echo last? Oh, that's right. Last time he was on my show, he didn't have his earbuds on. That's right. Yeah. Well, he had his earbuds today, but he had a different computer that wasn't quite compatible. So, why should Manitowoc man up? Well, the song is essentially along the lines of, own your stuff. You know, own your mess up, own your screw up, own it. Take charge of it. Take responsibility for it. Quit trying to dodge it and shuck it and jive it and do everything that you're doing. Man up. That's what man up means. I hope that explains. What was the deal with the traffic? Oh, my traffic's like that every day. I got off work late today. I just got off work late today, and then it was just congested. It was just, you know, I don't know what else to say. It generally takes me about an hour and a half to get home from work. Anywhere from an hour and a half to get home from work. So that's normal for me. No mankini? No, I don't think so. Well, you know, I'll sit here and I'll talk about something, you know. First, I was going to go ahead and read some of your guys' comments, but we at least wanted to see the smiling face before bed. Time will tell. You know, you can request, but you don't have to request his songs. You know, you understand? I'm sure he'll be happy to play Time Will Tell, but anyway. Hello, Linda. Don't worry about it. We understand. Traffic sucks. I was listening to a conversation when Steven called Barb. Yeah, and she said that she didn't have internet. Yep, we've all heard that one. We've all heard that call. And she did have internet. So it's, you know, can afford DirecTV. Yeah, well, that may be. But, you know, we've been talking for like since 8, so you really have to scroll back. I was commenting in there and amongst that, you know, quite occasionally. So I saw some of that conversation, Linda. All right. So, you know, I don't know if you guys, you know, what we're going to be talking about with Brandon, and for those of you who might be interested, particularly Wrecking Crew, but then again, anybody, Avery Road, any other communities, Purple's community, anybody who's interested, Brandon had this idea. You know, he wants to try to like generate more attention for Steven and Brandon, and he's trying to think of like grassroots type of you know, things that people can do. And so that's what we were going to be talking about today. And so those of you who are interested, you know, you might be willing to help, you know, us figure out, you know, how to make some of these things happen. You guys may have heard, because Brandon and I did a video before, and, you know, he had some ideas about, you know, him and Rubber Ducky had some ideas about how to like generate some attention for Steven and Brendan and that sort of thing. And so we talked about some of those ideas in the last live I did with him. And I actually have not been able to listen to Stacy's song yet today. I got to hear a bit of it last night when he sent me a bit of it, but I have not got to sit down and listen to it yet. But I mean, it's Truth Train, but I can't wait to hear it. Barnes Studio version. It's going to be awesome. But so I'm still having the anticipation on that. I haven't gotten to do that yet. So I'm looking forward to it, though, very much. Kathleen Zellner's want a today with the news seemed optimistic. I think Time Will Tell it could be a hit. Like all sorts of music. Yeah, I like Time. And Time Will Tell is cool. It's a good song. I just dig it because the name. I mean, it's the time that Time Will Tell on you. I mean, that's just so fitting for you know, them, for Manitowoc and everything. What is the new song title? The new song title is called Man Up, Manitowoc. I'll bet it is. I'll bet the new song is awesome. I just, you know. Brandon. If I inadvertently said Brendan, it was a mistake, but sorry. But Brandon, it's Brandon. Thank you, Denise, for posting the link for that. If you could possibly find his Twitter, that'd be awesome, Denise. Thanks. Maybe Netflix would use for MAM3, maybe. Green lights are a good idea. I kind of thought that was cool. You know, if you get enough people doing that, it's like you know, I was talking a little bit about talking a little bit about this with Stacy, and you know, I was just, you know, commenting about the fact that if even just say, let's say just like 20% of people in any given area, right? But 20% of people put in a green porch light. And every night, people in the neighborhood, in that city, in that area, are noticing 20% of the lights are green, and they'll wonder why, and then they'll probably inquire, and then they'll find out why, and it may make them think. You know, I just think, you know, if people see that kind of a show, they'll get curious. It'll get them asking questions, and you know, it could be interesting. So I kind of like that idea. But it is going to be tough to get it to catch on. You know, we really got to get somewhere close to 15 or 20% of people in a given area so that it gets people curious. And that's going to be the trick and the key with that one. But I think that one's cool. I would like to see that one happen. Let's see. FYI, Erekose, I'm filing a petition for a hearing with the judge in me, Captain Crunch case. If he grants my request, I will be sending you a subpoena to appear as a witness. Yeah, right on. I'll be there with bells on. Erekose, for the moment, there are not many people on the French channel because the information does not spread quickly. Oh, I hear you, Jerome. I know what it's like, man. I know what it's like growing. It kind of does take a minute to catch on, but you know, it will. It generally usually will. I've met actually a fair number of French supporters. I actually used to be in a French group. You know, it was a group that was created by a guy in France, and he spoke quite a bit of English, and so I was in his group and stuff, and I was constantly having to hit the translate button to kind of see things and whatever. But it was, I don't know, it was fun. But I know there's French supporters out there. I just let's see. I thought TH was alive a few years ago, but I don't believe she's alive anymore. Okay. Let's see. Yep. And justice for all, right? Erekose, you rock. I am super, super proud of you. You really deserve a lot of praise for your coverage, courage, dedication. Well, thank you very much. That's very, 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 very touching. And thank you very much. Foxy Roxy, that would be awesome, Jerome. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Denise. Thank you. I could get my mom's whole community to do this. They're all retirees, and they turn lights on for Brendan. Okay, cool, Linda. And that's the kind of thing I was hoping maybe the Wrecking Crew, like what Linda's saying right here, where she could get her mom's whole community and stuff. And that's kind of the thing we're looking for, where maybe the Wrecking Crew and maybe in other communities and by connections, by people's connections, they, they can hopefully influence enough people close to say, I mean, if you do it in small areas, I guess, or in particular areas where a lot of people and stuff, it might be possible to get, say, around 15 or 20% of the people to do it on any given night. So, I mean, but that's the type of thing, like what Linda's saying. So that's why we were trying to, get this, toss this idea around with all the communities, the Avery Road community, Purple's community, everybody out there, even Sean Atwood's crew over there on his channel. I don't know how many of them come over this way into the MEM world, but even there. So we want to see if we can possibly get people that will do that. And like I said, if we get just enough people, it will even if we don't get 50%, even if we don't get 90% of people do it, if we get just 20% of people doing it, it may be enough to raise the question in other people's minds and make them ask why and what is it about. And then upon that, they get a story about Stephen and Brendan. Win, lose, or draw, the awareness would be really, really good to be spreading. So if you're on Facebook, join the group. Wow, daily deals. Can get them at a deal. Let's see here. I'm interested to hear what the French community has to say. Let's see here. Do blue lights for TH's favorite color? I was trying to stay away from the colors of emergency lights. Just because I didn't want like a bunch of like blue lights or red lights or whatever down a street or whatever that might throw people off or make people think there's an emergency. I don't know. I felt it could be misleading. So that's why we kind of ended up going with green, because we felt like that was a color that couldn't be really confused for something else. We can always talk about the color. That's something that we can talk about. Absolutely. I am one. Right on, Foxy Roxy. I thought about buying some green light bulb. They're cheap enough and selling them. I need money to get people to the rally, like big people, concerts or whatever. Let's see. Just got here. What's the good word? Oh, well, we're just having a little chat tonight. We were supposed to be live with Brandon Maddox, but unfortunately, we had a little technical difficulties on his side. His computer wasn't quite running a recent enough version of a Flash player, and so that's where we're at. Oh, thank you so much, Barbie girl. Thank you. You're very kind. Oh, you're very sweet. Marry me, please. I'm very touched. I really am. Let's see. Good morning from Norway. Keep up the good work. Let's see. You have to fight my girlfriend, Barbie. You have to fight with her for me, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, I'm already spoken for, unfortunately. Let's see. I told 8 people at a dinner tonight about your channel, Erekose. That will help too. Yeah, that's awesome. Obviously word of mouth is one of the biggest ways that anybody can, that's what businesses have relied on for years and decades and centuries or whatever. Word of mouth was, a big deal. So thank you so much, Mean Green. Word of mouth is a big deal. The rally. So Rhonda South asks where the rally is. The rally is in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, courthouse steps on June 15th. It's a Friday. You have inspired me to take notice of local judicial system and use my vote. Right on. That's beautiful. The fact that I've inspired anyone to do that is awesome. So that you go, buddy. I love it. At CL Row. Yeah, awesome. Come to think of it, where would we be if not for Erekose right now? Me still watching Perry Mason. Perry Mason fan, huh? My dad loved Matlock, and I gotta say I love Matlock. I actually, there was about a year where I was waking up for work an hour early so that I could catch Matlock. There's 2 episodes of Matlock early in the morning, and like literally as soon as the second one ended, it was like time for me to leave. It was uncanny. So I would wake up an hour early and get ready and then watch Matlock for an hour and then drive to work. I love it. SAB support bracelet. You want one of these? This one here is for Brendan. It just says freedom, justice, and freedom for Brendan Dassey. This is given to me by Barb. If you guys want them, I believe they sell them on Brendan's Facebook page. If you guys are really interested, I'll get a bunch of them and send them out to you if you want. But you can Barb's mods for her Facebook group. They're on top of it, and if you tell them you want to get one, they'll make sure you get one. But if anybody else has a trouble getting one and you really, really want one, let me know, and I'll get my hands on a few and send you one. I think they're a couple bucks. I'm not exactly sure what the price is on them. I'll have to check, but let's see. I have a 24-year-old daughter, and a lot of her age group educate themselves on cases in media. So this is critical to get into the media. And Netflix and is another one they watch documentaries on. Absolutely. I have a lot to say, Jerome says. Absolutely. Don't we all? Red is not good. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Barbie Curl. Dang. I would love to go to that rally. Oh yeah, I was there last year, and I'm definitely planning to go again this year. So I speak about every day. Okay, let's see here. Wait, went too far. See, everything helps. Let's see, freaking dying here. Marriage proposals. Hi everyone. Hi Susan. Jerome. Let's see. Mark Hod not marry me. Oh brother. And Go Mean Green says, "Marry me, Travis." Pink Lady Luck. Good evening, everyone. Oh, and she's flipping us off. Well, that's interesting, but hey, no hard feelings. Like I said, no hard feelings. In Spanish, Erekose is a special para. Nice. I like it. Eres especial para los que. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to totally butcher that. Let's see. Good evening, Pink. How you doing? Maybe they will start throwing. Brother. So wish you could be there. Oh, I know. I hope as many people as you can possibly make it to the rally. It would be awesome. It's pretty cool. I mean, I gotta say, because last year, I honestly expected to go there and be there in front of the courthouse, and I expected to hear like a lot more just like boos and FUs and middle fingers coming out windows and that sort of thing. I honestly expected that, but there was really a lot of support being shown by people driving by and honking and really enthusiastic. It was cool. I was surprised. Let's see. You can't do any colors that the law, service, or medical vehicles use. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't want to do that because I don't want to get people confused or anything like that. So that's why we were going with green. But like I said, we can talk about the color. The color is, something that can be talked about. Yeah, and if you're going to do truckers, which I know, oh yeah, and that was the other thing we were talking about, was the whole thing, maybe getting truckers to put signs on the side of their trailers. Or I heard there's like a company that you can go and they actually will put the things on the side of the trailers for you. You can actually purchase that as like advertising space kind of or something. So we're going to toss around how that could work, how we can make that happen and that sort of thing. It's just things that we're tossing around. We're trying to figure out how they could work, and that's the whole thing we were just trying to do tonight, was to just start to create that discussion, start to create that, so that we could try to start figuring out what could we do, what might work, and that sort of thing. So let's see. Translation. You're very special to Stephen and Brennan supporters who often depend on you for new information, explanations, legal terms, phrases at times make me spin. I can understand that because I know I did a lot of time with my head spinning. when I came into this 3 years ago. I mean, I started reading these court documents and I understood the language and stuff, but I didn't understand the nuances of the law. And that was something that I was having to learn, in over the process. And then as I followed Brendan, because I followed Brendan really closely, as I followed him on his, path through the federal courts, I kind of I got a pretty good idea about how the courts work, at least a general idea. And then shortly after October 19th, I met up with Travis, who was really able to illuminate me and help me out in understanding more of the legal side of things. And so it's a process, but I always like to have people here on my channel that are informed in the area, because I know I'm not a lawyer. I'm not well versed in the law. I'm pretty quick learner, but that doesn't make me a lawyer. So I mean, and I'm not a forensic biologist. I'm not any of those things. So it's always better for me. I'm not an investigator. I haven't been an investigator for 50 years or whatever, or anything like that. So I try to bring in people who are experienced in those things, who have experience in those things, and everything. So, but we learn it's a progress. But yeah, I totally understand how you feel about that, because yeah, a lot of this legal stuff was difficult to wrangle with. I know for myself in the first 3.5 years that let's see. Baby, one more time. Oh my Lord. You guys are like just blowing my head up here. Let's see. Matlock. Sheriff Andy Taylor. Yeah, he is Andy Taylor, but I love Matlock, dude. Matlock is awesome. Let's see here. Fighting the girlfriend. Oh Lord. Well, thank you so much, Barbie girl, and thank you so much, Elegant Crime Junkie Hernandez. Thank you so much for those for your super chats. I I can't help but laugh at the "hit me baby one more time" one. Anyways. All right, where are we at? I speak about it every day with my Sydney workmates. Right on, right on. I know that it's catching on in Australia. From what I understand, the Laura Nyrider, Stephen Drizzen, and David Rudolph shows, like they sold out like almost immediately, like pretty darn quick. Like, that, like they had to put it this way. One of David Rudolph's first tweets, he showed concern that if not enough people bought tickets, that they might cancel it and everything. And then it was funny because I immediately retweeted him, and because I have a lot of Australian supporters who I love, and so I retweeted it, and it was funny to me because within like 2 hours, 4 of them had messaged me on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, and had told me they already bought their tickets. It was funny. So yeah, I can definitely see there's some interest in Australia, absolutely, and it's awesome to see. You can't do any colors that the law, service, or medical vehicles use. Right? Yeah. Yeah. And the truckers thing, right? Translation: You are very special to Stephen and Brennan supporters who often depend on you for new information and explanations. Yes, absolutely. Looks like Erekose might go to the highest bidder. Oh, brother. Let's see. You want one and talking about these? Okay. I will like I said, anybody who's in Brendan's Facebook group, it's Justice for Brendan Dassey. If you're in that group, you can message the mods, Tracy Keogh, Monica Boxley, Don Brusha, I think. Don't hold me to that, but I think. But anyways, if you go there, you'll see the admins there or whatever. If you can inquire about the bracelets. I'm pretty sure they're still selling them. But like I said, if you guys aren't in there or whatever, and you really need me to get one for you, then let me know. You're not on FB? All right. Well, Foxy, we'll figure out how to get you one. Are there Steve bracelets? I think there might be. I'd have to. I'm not sure if they. I don't know if they've made them for Steve or not. I'll ask Carla Chase though. Pink. I'll ask Carla Chase. That's Steven's niece. I'll ask her and I'll see what they got. There is a website. Oh, you know what? There's a website. Yeah, there's a website where you can go to buy clothing from the family, and if it was going to be anywhere, it would be there. Maybe my links, maybe my mods will be able to find that link. It would be. I mean, I know it was in like, if you go back to October 19th on my channel when I first started going live every day, I'm pretty sure that link was in the information of all those videos. I'm trying to think of where it would be easy to find for my mods, but I think you might be able to find it there. But that website, I think I do remember they might have something, or it might just say Avery Road or We Live on Avery Road, I think, or something. And you can go check it out. Hopefully my mods will be able to find that link for us. Mark, I am going to file a petition with the judge soon. Please let him know. I went last year. I'm definitely going again this year. When's the last time your girlfriend gave you $20? Give Barbie girl a chance. Oh, you guys are funny. I'll definitely be there at the rally, most definitely, and you won't miss me. Believe me, I'll stand out in the crowd. I bet you will, Linda. I bet you will. You meant to use a point of view. Oh, I'm so sorry then. Okay. I just saw it and was like, oh wow. So, okay, cool. Awesome, Pink. Love it. Do you have a book, Erekose, Swords of Heaven, The Flowers of Hell? There only the books about the character who I got my name from, which, anyway. I'll be there too. That was a wave by Pink Lady Luck. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey, hey, Pink. Happy to see you. Absolutely happy to see you. Let's see. Barbie Girl, you're killing me. Oh my God. There's a bidding war going on. Project Avery Dassey Facebook page are requesting that everyone changes their profile picture to a sign they have. That's running 24 hours starting tomorrow. Go to their page to get more information. Now, that's kind of the kind of thing like me and Brandon are talking about, and that's kind of cool. Project Avery Dassey. I am in there. Okay. Interesting. Thanks, Paula. Thank you, Paula. He's a hottie. I would love to make the rally. I'd love to see you there. There was a lot of cars honking last year. It was awesome. Yeah, I expected to hear, like I said, I expected to hear a lot more FUs and middle fingers coming out of windows. And, I expected to see a lot more of that, but there wasn't really that much of it. There was some, but not a lot. Let's see here. See, Barbie Girl, it would have to be interesting to hear Brandon sing. I want to come to the rally, but alone, Hi, Erekose, invite me to the chicken dinner. Let's see. So where would I fly into? What airport? When I went, I flew into Green Bay. In Green Bay, there's a little teeny airport called Austin Straubel. It's cool, and I'll tell you what, it's kind of nice because when you get off the plane, man, you literally walk a very short distance. You're out the doors. It's not like the huge airports like you might be used to. Like me, I've been in LAX. I've been in Chicago O'Hare. Yeah, and I've been in Salt Lake City airport. I mean, these are huge airports, but anyway. It's a tiny little sucker there in Green Bay, though. It's awesome, though. It was very convenient. And then it was literally 40-mile drive down into Manitowoc. Sorry, not 40-mile, 40-minute. A 40-minute drive down into Manitowoc, and then I was there. Boom. Oh no, yes, no apologies necessary, Pink. I just, like I said when I first saw it, I was like, oh, whoa. Yeah, no worries, Pink. Yellow is a very awesome color. It attracts the eye. Yeah, that is true. Now, yellow would stick out quite a bit, whereas green might it might not show up as well. So there is something to be said for that. That yellow would be more eye catching, but then again, yellow is more of a warning uh, color for like on roadways and stuff like that. So then it might be kind of a problem in that way, right? So you know, I it's like I said, we definitely can talk about the color. It's just we have to think about those things, that like real life things where colored lights are used, and we don't want to end up confusing people or causing something, so it's just something to think about. Wow, that's really cool. Or Gabe, that you must mean something to you, then it would certainly mean something to me. At least Erekose can hold his head up now. He started at $2. Now he's let's see here. Green Bay or Madison. And you can also fly into, Milwaukee. Mark Hodnott does that sometimes. He flies into Milwaukee and then he drives up to Manitowoc. Whereas I flew into Green Bay and I drove down. So, but it depends. It's further away from Milwaukee. It's kind of, to me, I would probably not want to do it that way myself. Although to go through Austin Straubel, you have to go through Chicago O'Hare. If you're coming from the West Coast like I am, and if you got to go through Chicago O'Hare has problems, because when I was going home from Wisconsin, I got held up for a long time because of weather over Chicago. And from what I understand, there's a lot of weather over Chicago, and it constantly, so I guess there's constantly delays at Chicago O'Hare. It was miserable. I was there all night. I arrived at Chicago O'Hare at like 11 p.m. And on Saturday night, and then had to stay there I had to stay until 6:30. Was sleeping on benches in the airport until 6:30, and then I was finally able to get home. But because of the weather, it was like all the planes were getting like held up or canceled or pushed back, and it was just like, and so my flight ended up getting rescheduled, and it was just a nightmare. But yeah, Chicago's got lots of weather. Not being weird, just would need something to hang with, and we could talk about our arches. Yes, Travis, I still can't get over the Alfred plea. That was disgusting. I wish they had someone like KZ. What did Travis say? They don't have a clue on my YouTube channel. I should tell them. Get the color changing lights. No, that's interesting. Maybe like a strobe, like a color changing light. That might be interesting. Yeah, that way. Well, but see, if it incorporates a lot of blue and red, it could still be confusing. Yeah, it's interesting. We could play around the idea and get maybe we could check out a few models of color changing light, and maybe see if we really think that it could be confused for, say, like emergency lights or anything like that, right? We can check it out. Steven wrongly convicted the first 8 times. Okay. We need vinyl for our cars, etc. My daughter gets custom vinyl stuff all the time. I'm going to ask her to make something for me. Thank you, Denise, for that link to the Avery Salvage merchandise. Pink, that's where you could probably go, and they'll probably have a bracelet for Steven. Let's see. They don't even have a clue why my YouTube done Milwaukee and Green Bay. Green Bay is the best. Yeah, I love it. It was awesome going from Green Bay because literally just 40 minutes. I get off the plane and in 40 minutes I was in Manitowoc. Bam, I'm here. It was cool. Let's see. Yes, Travis, I still can't get over the Alfred plea. Right, read that. I knew about the first statement. Uh-huh. Let's see here. Chicago is the windy city. Yeah, and it was rainy too. It was I was sleeping next to a window. I'm just looking out this window and it's just pouring. Everything's just wet and it's just pouring all night. And I'm just like, I'm never getting out of here. Madison is a better option than Milwaukee. I'm driving from Keno County, but Midway Airport would work. I think Eric meant bad weather. I guess I wasn't trying to say it was good or bad. I'm just saying they have lots of it. Let's say severe weather. All right, severe wind, severe rain, whatever it is. There's a lot of weather systems because that's what they kept saying. There's a weather system. There's a weather system. Blah, 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 weather system. Anyways, never mind. When I visited let's see, if Steven gets out, he needs to move to a different country. Yeah, that's probably true. When I visited my son, I flew into St. Paul, Minnesota, but he is in West Wisconsin, I guess. Yeah, this Manitowoc is literally right, literally a courthouse. You can see almost see Lake Michigan from the courthouse. I mean, literally, if it wasn't for the Budweiser brewery in the way, you would be able to see the actual lake from the courthouse. I mean, Manitowoc is right on the lake, on the eastern edge of Wisconsin. It's right on the lake, right there. Boom. The hotel I was staying at it was literally right on the shores. I mean, literally like right there. I put up a video recently where I walked out of my hotel and I showed a little submarine, and then I showed the part of the Budweiser brewery and everything. So yeah, anyways, that's where Manitowoc is, right there on the coast of the lake there. I could take some video of what I have for lights so you can see. Okay. I will sponsor Steven for his move to Scotland. Let's see. What's the deal with the lights? I came on late. Well, it's just an idea we're tossing around for support of Steven and Brendan of trying to get as many people as possible to do colored porch, to do their porch lights, but to do it with a particular color on one given night. And hopefully trying to get at least, like, say, 20% of people to do it so that the other 80% wonder about it and ask about it, and then end up creating more awareness for Steven and Brendan. So that was just kind of the rough idea of it, and we were tossing it around. Damn it. Sharon Sunshine, I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Last time I looked, there was weather all over the world. Yeah, thanks, Mark. I can see you're taking a page from Paul's Havering book. But we love you, man. We love you. Let's see. I love Chicago. I'm not saying anything bad about Chicago. It was just flying through there was rough. I just wanted to warn people about that because, you could get stuck there. I'm not saying anything negative about Chicago. Just want to make that absolutely clear. It's just that it can be trouble getting through O'Hare. That's all. Sorry. Didn't mean to give that impression. I'm going to see Brendan's lawyer speak in Sydney in a few weeks. They'll be spreading the word down under. Yeah, and you'll probably see me there. Let's see. Orange lights, that might be an option. So long as that orange doesn't look too much like warning lights or like yellowish or, it's, yeah. So it's going to be tricky. I'm from Minnesota, close to St. Paul. It took me 4.5 hours to get to Manitowoc. Erekose, that is weird when you entered Steve territory. Elegant crime. Let's see. If I come by plane from Belgium, it will last 16 hours of flights. But for justice, it is necessary to go far, since the truth is elsewhere. Mulder. I love it, Jerome. Great quote. Never mind. First choice is Green Bay, then Milwaukee, then Madison. Hey, look, I'm just saying, Green Bay's. It was nice flying into Austin Straubel. I mean, I walked up to the rental car counter. There wasn't a bunch of people there. I just walked right up, gave the guy my stuff. He gave me my key. I signed the little thing. Boom. It was nice, dude. It wasn't crowded. It wasn't, it was just, hey, dude, Austin Straubel was nice. That's all I can say. A really cool airport. And then when I was going home, our flight was delayed and stuff. And so there was me and about, I don't know, say about 10 other people there at Austin Straubel waiting for a plane, right? The TSA guys, the TSA guards had gotten a pizza and they didn't eat all of it. And so they had like about 6 pieces of it left, and they came over and gave us pieces of pizza while we were waiting, because they knew it was bummer because we were waiting on delayed flights and everything. And they ended up giving us a piece of pizza. It was cool. Dude, Austin Straubel, man. I'm telling you, man, it's a good place. Cool. Really cool airport, man. I'll tell you what, they won me over, if you couldn't tell. If I walk. Oh, that's funny. You can see Lake Michigan from Route 41. They have 6% Budweiser in Wisconsin. Pace yourself. Hey, dude, me and Paul and Mark, we're hitting up that Budweiser brewer. We're getting a tour of that mug. We're getting a tour of that mug. We're getting in there. We're gonna taste some. We're gonna taste some beer in there. We're gonna be carrying Paul out. Watch. Oh wow, that would be cool to see the lake. I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah, it's right there. It's within a quarter mile of the courthouse. Within an eighth of a mile of the courthouse. It's close. Really close. Darn, it's cold out. Havering down under. I'm scared to fly out there. I may get charged with murder of Jalissa smallpox. Then framed by Fleegert and Assbender. Yeah, could be. Nah, Manitowoc was really a nice place. People were really nice. There was I only saw one person that came up, kind of an elderly lady. Sorry. And she came up and she was really upset, and she was, yelling and screaming some things, and, talking like all, the Hallbach family this and the Hallbach family that, and you guys have no respect and blah, and she was, and she was kind of yelling it nasty and everything, whatever. But I think somebody ended up going over to talk to her. I was going to go talk to her, but I just happened to be already talking to a priest. Actually, there was a priest there. He's the guy that actually goes in and talks with the people that are in the jail there, because the courthouse has a jail right there. That's where you get held. And anyway, so the Manitowoc jail is right there by the courthouse. It makes it easier to get the criminal, not criminals, to get the accused parties to court, because they're right there, basically just across a little, park, like a little causeway or whatever, basically, right? So it's just a short walk to the courthouse. And so he would go in there, and he was basically working with the inmates there and doing whatever, just kind of a charitable thing that he was doing. So he had come out and he saw what we were doing. He came over and was interested, and he's intrigued and was wondering what we were doing, what we were about, and everything. And so of course, 3 or 4 different people pointed him at me. And so he comes over to me, and Lisa Zukowski came up, and she's like, Richard, she's like, this guy, he's a priest, and he doesn't really know a whole lot about Stephen and Brennan, and he was like wondering, he wanted to talk about it a little bit or whatever. And I was like, sure. So him and I were talking, and had I not been talking to him, I probably would have went over and tried to talk to that lady, that old elderly lady that came up and was kind of screaming, but somebody else fortunately jumped in and went over and started talking to her, and kind of, she started to calm down, and she's, wasn't yelling quite as much and that sort of thing. So that we were, oftentimes it just takes a little bit of, you come over there and just give them a little bit of, hey, look, we understand what you're talking about. We're not completely heartless people and whatever. And you talk a little bit of sense and reason with them. And they usually tend to, settle down at least. They may not agree with you. They may not come around to your thinking, but they'll settle down at least and stop, screaming, yelling, and doing that sort of thing. So anyways, no, I was just saying Chicago is nice. The airport sucks too big. I'll second that, Pete. I love that everyone is so uplifting and positive in this chat. Erekose, you set the atmosphere. Can you run our country? I don't know if I'm ready for that, folks. I think recently I've possibly realized a few shortcomings, maybe. So maybe I'm not ready to lead the country. But no, I appreciate the comment, though. Thank you very much. Yeah, look forward to seeing me there. Let's see. Did you visit the turnaround? What is your take on that? TH being killed there. Just heard witness said she saw Teresa in a minivan putting hazard lights on and off. Oh, I hadn't heard about that one. I recently did some videos about Leo R. I did some videos about him. He lives on the cul-de-sac. I ended up using a lot of footage that my good buddy Mark, who's here in the chat right now, a lot of footage he took because he stayed in Wisconsin a little longer than I did, and he got to go do a whole bunch of cool things that I'm so jealous of. But anyway, he got to go down Cuss Road, and he took some video and everything, and I actually have a video of the footage of Cuss Road, Mark driving down Cuss Road. I even put up a map during the video so that people can understand where the roads connect and where Mark's starting at and where he ends up at and all that sort of stuff. So I have a video for that, and maybe Denise will be able to grab that real quick for you. But I do have a video about it. I will meet up with y'all on Wisconsin border with a if I walk more than. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, sarcasm is my life. Well, we hope to see you there anyway. San Angelo's Mathis Field is the same. 2 gates. I can literally get there 20 minutes before my flight leaves. No exaggeration. It takes me 2 minutes to get through security. Erekose, you are the only channel I listen to now because of all the nice people who are here. Oh, thank you so much, Lorraine Bell. I appreciate that. Let's see. No Busch Gardens in LA anymore. Was there ever a Busch Gardens in LA? I know there was one in like Vegas, I think, but I don't know. Anyway, there's a casino directly across the road from Austin Straubel. Brewery tours are awesome. We have an Anheuser-Busch brewery here. You will love it. Free samples at the end. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's an Anheuser-Busch brewery right next to the Manitowoc County Courthouse. It's right. If Denise is able to find that video, you guys will all see. I also put the footage of that where I was standing in front of the courthouse, and then I turned to the left, and you can see the Budweiser brewery right there. And I'm like, oh, me and Mark and Paul are gonna be going there. We're gonna be carrying Paul's havering ass out, but I did see the junkyard. I even have a video with some footage from it, Pink, if you want. Let me see if I can get some links here. Let's see. All right, got the link here for you, Pink. This has pretty much like all my footage that I took when I was at Avery Salvage. This is it was basically the footage I was taking was kind of like my vision of the walk of Cadaver Dog Brutus. And you'll kind of get that. You'll get that when you watch the video. So here is the link. Let's see, Salvage yard footage. All right, there you go. That video right there that I just posted, that has actual footage I took from the salvage yard. Any feel for the consensus there? More in favor of Avery's, less. Well, we've actually, the person that I think is the trusted source on that is Tracy Struncy, and she has said that it's basically a healthy mixture of there's a small number of people who feel really passionate about it and then think that Stephen and Brendan are guilty. There's another segment that believes Stephen's guilty, Brendan's innocent. There's another small segment of people who believe that they're both innocent. And then there's a huge group of people, like 80% of the people, 75 to 80% of the people that really couldn't give a crap, have no opinion and don't care. And that's the way that Tracy Struncy has described it. So, and that makes sense, because, we all do get wrapped up in our real lives, and we don't, and sometimes we don't take an interest in the things happening around us, or we forget, and so it's always something to be mindful of. Constant vigilance. That lady could have been mistaken because other witnesses saw the RAV4 white minivan. Found the call interesting until the white minivan. Okay. This doesn't seem to fit. Stevie Wonder can see they're innocent. Wow, 6%. In Utah, I could only get a 3%. Well, that's because Rhonda South, you have to go to the state store. Yeah, in Utah, you have to actually go to the state store. A store is run by the state, and that's where you get the real alcohol. That's where you can buy the, like real Budweiser and real, 5-6% beers. And then I guess hard liquor too. So, but you have to actually go to the state store and, pretty trippy. But hey, there's no tax from what I understand. I could be wrong on that, but did I see this article? I don't know what that article is, and I can't pull it up just now. Good night, Elegant Crime Junkie Hernandez. I will say that there was definitely that Netflix has created, some kind of a reaction there in Wisconsin, because I gotta say, the number of young couples that approached me, and then me, number one, there was two different couples that had been messaging me when they knew I was going to rally, and they were making sure that they were going to be able to get there to see me in person and everything. It was fun. But there was those couple young couples, and then it's like I was starting to realize these young couples or these young kids or younger people are really receptive to this. And then, like I said, there was that one morning where Mark and I were at breakfast, and we were talking to a lady, and I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry. And we were talking to her and everything, and a young couple came up to us because they knew what we were talking about, or they heard what we were talking about. And so they came up to us and they started asking us about the rally, and they started asking us about Stephen and Brandon, and then they started telling us, yeah, we watched the documentary recently, and blah, blah, blah. And so it was interesting to see the young people there are really looking at it and you know, not just dismissing it or, you know, taking the same attitude that has been taken in the past there in that area. So that's interesting. I used to work in a prison. Interesting. The inmates were by the problem. The COs were ridiculous. Let's see. Is the picture that you use while we wait for you of somewhere in Wisconsin? No, that picture I use is just a. Sorry, it's just like a. It's like a stock image. I don't even remember where exactly I got it. I just liked it because it was like a mountain lake, smoky mountain lake with that, you know, really kind of beautiful forest, you know, thick forest around it. I just thought it just spoke to me. You know what I mean? I liked it. Let's see. Taco Bell and Walmart have two diff witnesses with this too. Uh, yeah, I have heard that too, but I don't see that it would fit. Still pondering that one. That's good to know. Sarcasm is my life. It's cold as hell, snowing down here. Good night again. For the last time, I promise. Good night, elegant crime junkie Hernandez. Let's see here. Special good night for you, Lorraine Bell. Could be a similar looking person, although the hazard light thing was not the norm. I want to go. It is interesting to look more into, but not too sure. That video was classic. Only two Busch Gardens, one in Florida and second in Williamsburg, I believe. Okay, that's okay. I knew it wasn't in LA. So, what do you think of the decision today? What you think of the decision today? What decision? I don't know about a decision today. Dang it. Sorry, guys. I got something like in my eye. It's like messing with me. I haven't heard about a decision yet, but I actually haven't been able to do a whole lot of poking around. I literally drove home from work, sat down here, tried to work out the audio problems with Brandon, and we finally ended up figuring out that his computer just wasn't able to do it. So I literally have had no time to look at anything. I left work, came home, sat down, and, you know, talking about SA case increased a lot of here after the documentary. Yeah. Erekose, do you know what's the most annoying thing about this? It is the fact that justice did not stop Teresa's true murderer at the expense of two innocent people. Absolutely. Absolutely, Jerome. Let's see. Your beautiful mod got your links right away. Dude, freaking Denise is killing it. Love it. She's absolutely killing it. She's nailing it. Love it. Absolutely loving it. I already changed my. Oh, Jesus. I already changed my profile picture to the Project Avery Dassey, right? There was a bush garden in LA when I was a kid, because it must have been a long time ago. Yeah, I never knew about it. For me, the real killer of Teresa is still free. I got you, Jerome. I know what you mean, and I think that's I also believe that's true. 1, 2, 3. Let me know what you find. I have the two audios on the Twitter page, and one of the minivan for 147 witnesses of the dispatchers talking about the Taco Bell in Walmart. Me too. Remember the tram, the bird show? Yeah, there seems to have been a pattern discovered. Light brown hair girls. I don't agree with that. I believe people here are very much invested in this case. And between the documentary now, the case being in the news, again, people are talking about it. I agree. I used to be that exact way until I watched this movie documentary, excuse me, and Brendan broke my heart. And I knew I had to do something, anything. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Erekose, thanks for keeping my seat for me while I was in hiatus. Oh, absolutely. It's awesome to see you, Sharon. I've been missing you. I like you. So it's great to see you back. Okay, thanks, Vanessa Overton. Will do. The minivan was on a queso phone call. A lady called it in and thought it was TH. And then I became a part of the wrecking crew, and I'm honored to feel like we are all making a difference. Oh, yes. Thank you, Linda. Is your Twitter the same as your YouTube name? Yes, it is. Denise might have already put that link up, too. Then you have to change the way they interrogate minors due to the way BD was interrogated. So that brought the case back also into the forefront. Yep. The view is amazing. Not the original one. Just like Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, Marine Land of the Pacific, and Spawn Ranch. Let's see here. Oh, I know. The state runs the liquor there. Lived there for 35 years. Okay, there you go. And there's plenty of taxes. Oh, well. I said I could be wrong about that. Anyway, you guys do make a difference. Please don't stop. Brendan really needs you. His case just about needs to be solved without question. Bring him home. Absolutely, Janet Vogel. I moved to Utah in 1980 at Travis Williamson and just returned a few weeks ago to Cali. It's a whole new state to me now. No, my Twitter is support truth and facts at fact support. It was back in LA in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, sometimes that picture creeps me out, but it really is beautiful. Why don't talk about the control question t-shirt for people who don't know? Jerome, is Mr. Capaldi messaging you in any way, shape, or form? It's funny. Let's see. In the 70s, yeah, I think AdSense should pay mods. Yeah, there you go. That's not a bad idea. Okay, just followed you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. They're saying there was no Busch Gardens in LA. I am losing my mind here. I don't remember, but maybe there was. Who knows? I was just a youngin' in the 80s, so I don't know. No, they don't know their facts. Mr. Bush lived in California in summers, had first parked there, then died. They built Van Nuys Brewery and had monorail, boat rides, and bird shows. Ah. I know you can't look at it right now, but there it is, the info on Busch Gardens, LA. Hey, there you go. I don't doubt that it was there. I just never really knew about it. So, I never went there, certainly. Now, go down to Portugal, down in Long Beach. Yeah, I've been down there. That place is a blast. I love that place. So, disingenuosity free zone. I love it, Ziggy. Love it. Oh, that's freaking brilliant. I love it. I love it. Yeah, so Rhonda, your link is there. We see it. All right. So that's basically what we were trying to do today. My eyes really bugging me. Jesus. So that's what we're intending to do today. And it's unfortunate that Brandon had trouble with his computer. So I decided to come on here and talk to y'all for a bit, obviously. Because you guys were just so awesome, just hanging out and chat, for 2 hours. I mean, you guys are just way awesome, way cool. So, we'll go ahead and play some Stacy on the way out.
Power on.
And
Connection successful.
And obviously, you know, we'll see you guys probably tomorrow night. Shall we listen to... No, I can't play a studio version, unfortunately. Dang it.
Get on the train before it leaves the station. Wisconsin versus
Bye-bye, Jojo.
Avery, a complete fabrication. Get on the train before it leaves town. The truth train coming, gonna run them down, run them down. And we all know Stephen and Brendan were blamed, but it does not take a brain surgeon to see that they were framed.
Oh, wow. It's just going to keep on going. Unbelievable.
Brain, yes, we know what this was about. The civil suit settlement they did not want to pay out, want to pay out.
How's it going, Falcon?
And you may hear this song, or maybe you don't get it. I suggest you look up TikTok, Manitowoc on Reddit. You will find trial transcripts, evidence files, and reports. And you start to fathom the corruption within the courts. Now as you shake your head, because everything seems demented, you will find yourself in company of the 3 on-bank judges that dissented. But don't you worry, you're not going insane. You just happen to sit down on Zelda's truth train. Get on the train. I said before it leaves the station, final destination, inevitable exoneration. Get on the train. Oh, before it leaves town, the truth train coming, gonna run them down, run them down.
I'm not playing a second one tonight, folks. I'm just having the worst
Get on
day.
the train.
You know what? Screw it. We're going to do the second one anyway. Oh, this has just been a day. Oh, don't worry about that, Rhonda.
Don't get straight, no, no, no. Oh, I ain't getting straight. Don't get straight. I ain't getting straight.
I'm sick of this suffering. Can't stand the pain. Don't get straight.
Well, we know the story. Oh, ain't the way they said. We can see they got you.
Footage up down. What?
Totally insane. Don't get strange. Everything they got.
Questionable evidence gathered by Manitowoc. But it makes such sense. While they're in the game, don't get strange.
Don't get straight, no, no, no. Oh, now I ain't getting straight. Don't get straight. I ain't getting straight.
You're welcome, Linda.
That lying, that cheating, that predator race with you. Anything he said, he couldn't throw away.
He's a legal stain. Don't get strained. My man, my eye, who's to blame? Don't get strained. I'll be all right, everybody. It's just been a rough day. A rough day. Don't get strange. All right, folks. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe. We'll see ya.